Well, you can't blame them for trying. The mainstream media is trying to spin things that Justin Trudeau has said and use them as ways to attack and discredit Pierre Poilievre, and it's not really working. Jagmeet Singh once again threatens their coalition. Justin Trudeau is being heckled and much more. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. You're going to want to stick around for the full thing. I guarantee it. You're not going to want to miss a single one of these stories. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage everyone to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It does really help grow the channel. We are a carbon tax away. We're this close away from getting 400,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world to me if you guys help me get there. And speaking of getting there, I do have an extra channel for all of the other stories that I can't cram into a 20-minute-ish long video. It is called Mr. Sunshine Extra. It is linked down in the description, and I'll even put it down in the pinned comment below. I would super duper appreciate it if you guys showed that channel the same love that you do this channel, because there's a tremendous amount of stories such as the dark truth about the forest fires in Canada, which is one of the last ones that I posted. Without further ado, let's get into this video here. So you've got environmental radical minister here, Stephen Guilbeault, who is wearing a shirt that his grandma made or something of the sorts. I love heat pumps. We're not going to listen to the sound because it's got some music that's not good playing. My intrusive thoughts almost did a precursor for that, but kind of weird that he's really pushing heat pumps like this. Man, I live in northern BC, and it gets to be like, I don't know, minus 30, minus 40, and, you know, not for like months on end, but it's at least minus 20 for months on end. And I just don't think that a heat pump works. And that's not my own opinion. That's contractors' opinions that install the things. They don't work across Canada. It's great for maybe Toronto, maybe Vancouver, where you're lucky to even see any snowflakes, even though the entire town is full of snowflakes. But in actual, you know, country parts of Canada, northern parts of Canada, heat pumps don't really work. But anyways, I'd like to know if you guys are in support of heat pumps or if you're against it. Let me know down below. Next up, we have Trudeau at a press conference, a recent press conference here. This is a good clip. Let's take a look at what happens.
Hi, Laura Stone, Globe and Mail. Prime Minister, I want to ask you about leadership. Polls have put you 20 points behind the Conservatives, and it doesn't seem to be getting better despite your recent communications push from your budget. The public appears to have an overwhelmingly negative view of you personally, and you seem to have lost control of the conversation on some of the key issues that Canadians care about. I think the public might be looking at you and your position right now and thinking, for the good of the Liberal Party, why is he staying on?
Thank you for your concern, Laura. But as you see, we're here investing in good jobs for today and for generations to come. The world is in a challenging place, absolutely. But that's why for 8 years this government has been putting forward investments and a frame that both fights climate change and creates good jobs and economic growth, that understands that if you want to bring in strong investments and great jobs for Canadians, you have to be making investments in things like childcare, like pharmacare, like healthcare, investments in supporting our seniors, investments to make sure that young people get the best opportunity as they go off to post-secondary education. I know there are lots of folks in Ottawa thinking about process. I'm focused on results for Canadians. I'm focused on delivering the kinds of things that are going to set Canada and Canadians up for success over the coming decades, because that's the moment we're in right now. A different government years ago wouldn't have made the choice to build an EV ecosystem here in Canada. Would have doubled down on the oil and gas industry and stayed away from anything that threatened the oil and gas industry. Well, we know that the pressure we're putting on the oil and gas industry to decarbonize and to invest in renewables goes hand in hand with our decision to invest massively in the electrification of our economies. Because we have the clean electricity here in Canada, we have the high-quality manufacturing workers, We have the social and economic stability that countries around the world and companies around the world are looking for. This is about building a plan for the future of this country. That's what we're focused on, and that's what I will continue to be focused on, because building a better future for Canadians, bringing in fairness for every generation, that's what I am 100% focused on right now.
It's not fairness for every generation. I mean, Justin Trudeau prides himself on the fact that he wants to take away all of the life savings, right, from the older generations that have had many years to accumulate that wealth, have their houses paid off or whatever it is, and then redistribute that wealth to the youth. He prides himself on inequality. He doesn't pride himself on fairness. It's very bizarre, man. Trudeau is, I don't want to get too religious or anything, but he's kind of like the devil in human form. I'm not here for it. I don't like it. I'm very much anticipating and looking forward to the next election. Some good news, though. Let's shift into a little bit better news. I just found this. This is a new clip by CTV. Turns out that they're trying to impose a new law in Ontario. Now, I don't know if it's going to have an actual effect on real criminals, because real criminals don't care about the law, right? Like, oh, guns are banned. Oh, I guess as all criminals must return their guns. No, like they don't care about that. But this could be a good incentive. You steal a car, you lose your driver's license under new Ontario proposal. It's kind of cool, actually.
Includes a lifetime license suspension for convicted auto thieves from ever driving again upon a third conviction, with 10 to 15-year suspensions for first and second convictions after serving sentences under the criminal code. This will apply to convictions that include aggravating factors like violence, use of a weapon, use of force, threat, or pursuit of financial gain. Driving is a privilege, not a right. If you're shameful enough to prey on other members of the community for your own reckless gain, you'll lose that privilege.
I gotta say, that's a pretty decent move, right? Punish criminals by taking away their ability to ever drive again. Not bad. It's a step in the right direction. Next is, incentivizing people through harsh punishments, like with the law, not just revoking their driver's license, but actually making it, instilling a little bit of fear back into people, saying, hey, if you commit crimes, you don't just get to not drive, but you get serious punishments. But again, it's a step in the right direction for progressive Canada. So yay. And speaking in a step in the right direction, you have these types of protests that are erupting all across Canada. I've made a video, which I will be releasing on the Extra channel later today. So make sure you go watch that. It's about immigrants that are protesting because they want to get their permanent residency. There's a massive one that's erupted and started on the east coast of Canada. Who to be the bad guy? Can't help myself. PEI. And now it's gone all the way as far as Winnipeg. We're going to block the music out because I do believe that there is some copyrighted music. But that's a lot of people, folks. For those who still aren't fully understanding what's happening, a lot of people immigrated to Canada with the sense that they could apply for permanent residency within 6 months to 1 year of being here. And what, according to their own admission, right, for some of the protests on the East Coast in PEI, the government of Canada changed these rules overnight and didn't tell anybody who immigrated here in the hopes of getting their permanent residency within 6 to 12 months. And one of the things that they're trying to push on the East Coast is they're telling the locals, if we don't get our permanent residency, that 2 minutes that it takes for you to get your coffee at Tim Hortons is now going to take you 20 minutes for that same coffee. It's not my words, it's their words. So you're seeing a lot of people that they're basically, another way to look at it is they were contracted to come here, work in Canada. The contract has expired, and now they're protesting, saying, we demand a renewal in our contract for us to stay here. We want permanent residency. We're going to go on a hunger strike. We're not going to work. We're going to make everyone's life difficult because we demand to have permanent residency in Canada. So I think that it's having a bit of a mixed reaction from the public. obviously immigrants that are in the similar situation support these protests and are joining in on these protests. And it's a bit of a, people are underestimating how many immigrants are actually participating in this. People think that, oh, it's just a few immigrants. No, dude, there's just millions. There's like 3 million people here that are waiting for permanent residency from other countries. So it's a bit of a big deal what's going on, and this could turn into something catastrophic. But I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments. Try to keep it clean, folks. Try and keep it clean. I know there's a lot of different ways of getting your point across, but from the non-immigrant community, it's having a negative reaction. I'll just leave it at that. So now let's move on to Justin Trudeau getting heckled. You've got freedom protesters here that are waiting in anticipation for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Premier Doug Ford, and Ministers Vic Fedeli and François-Philippe Champagne are in town. Here we go.
Hey, how's it going today?
How are you?
It's a private event right now, okay?
Okay, I'm on.
You're on public property.
Okay, I think the sidewalk is public property.
Well, it comes right into the venue.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I'm just here to take photographs.
No, that's fine. Like I say, just here to.
I think there's those people you might have to worry about more than me. There's a parade.
Yeah, on the other side of the road. That's fine. Okay, as long as you're at the roadway here, on the sidewalk, then that's fine.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Great.
He was on the
You know
sidewalk.
if Justin Trudeau and Doug Ford have arrived yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's such an abuse of power. I mean, this person was on the sidewalk. These freaking cops, man, they're just trying to abuse their power. This is from Karima Assad, or I guess her videographer on the scene. Now protesters are gearing up in anticipation of Trudeau making an appearance. There's quite a few of these clips here, folks, so brace yourself. It's pretty awesome. Wacko. Look at that, wacko. Well, look at that wacko. Hey, you want a wacko? Here, get one of these stickers. Look at this. It says wacko Trudeau has to go get one of these stickers linked down in the description. That is awesome. Then you don't have to have a sign. You can have actual stickers. Put them places.
For treason! Trudeau for treason! Trudeau must go! 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 You are not welcome!
I love the mask. This is pretty funny. All right, let's take a look at some more of this footage here, brought to you by Kareem Assad on X. Look at those environmentally friendly vehicles.
Protecting everybody. We're not out here protecting the Prime Minister. We're out here protecting people from you from other people, from people acting.
Yeah, but there must come a time where your morals got to override your job. You have to just do my job, you know?
This is my job.
You got kids.
Citizens.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But don't your morals override?
Red Nazi Freeland, and then I believe that there was a different Nazi poster with Justin Trudeau's face on it. Here it is. Prime Minister Trudeau, Deputy Prime Minister Freeland, Christian Freeland, depicted as pink Nazi and red Nazi respectively. Oh my goodness. Depicted by whom, Karima? Anti-Trudeau protesters at Port Colborne. And then you have some more here.
You had me wake
And
up
the
early
carbon
today,
tax.
Brian.
Hey, Lee. You saw the tag?
I did.
Excellent. Here, we'll just...
There we go, and this is them arriving. I guess I mixed up the order. You know, you gotta admire the consistency of the freedom community, or the anti-Trudeau community, or the patriot community, whatever you want to call it. Good old-fashioned Canadian citizens, put it that way. Everywhere Trudeau goes.
Nobody's leading, we're all just here. Okay.
He is met.
We don't organize, we just show up.
Pissed off patriots.
Okay, what we're doing is asking everybody to move to the far side of the street. Okay? What's wrong with this here? Because this is a closed venue right now. Yeah, but this is not a closed sidewalk. Well, there's specific... Yeah, that's fine, but there's specifically areas.
Freaking cops. This is why cops have such a bad name and reputation right now. I don't feel bad for them either. They've just done it to themselves. Like, he doesn't have to do that. He knows that the people are there holding signs and just protesting. There's not going to be any violence, not going to be any actions or calls to violence. It's just so bizarre. Like, use your judgment instead of people. My chief of command says this. Like, come on, bro. You're a cop. They're not at danger. They're protesting. It's a public sidewalk. Why do you have to, like, ruin the reputation of other police officers for the sake of power tripping? Homemade sign depicting Prime Minister Trudeau handcuffed in a prison jumpsuit and syringes in his arms labeled wacko.
Jail for Trudeau. They lied. Do you want to hold it, Bob, or you want to go conversate? Can I get somebody else maybe too? I don't want to keep you from any conversation.
Arrest Trudeau and Tam. Agenda 21, the Great Reset. Look at that, folks. That is awesome. I'd love to know down in the comments what you guys think about these protests. Are you in support of them? Are you against them? Let me know why. And then we have the Canadian, not Cuban, national anthem sung by anti-Trudeau protesters.
Justin, we know you're there. You know what? You are the apple from the tree of life from Margaret and Fidel. 100%. Oh, do you remember this song, Justin? Do you remember it? Oh, Canada.
If you sing the national anthem at any one of these protests, it absolutely triggers woke and radical left-wing people. I don't understand it at all. I have no idea why, but I love that. Great job, everybody. So long as everyone is peacefully protesting, keeping things civil, I think it's awesome. I think it's our democratic right to do that. As per Justin Trudeau's own admission, he supports the freedom of expression somehow. I don't know. I don't fully believe him, but apparently he's publicly said that on television, on press conferences, that he supports Canadians' rights to express their democratic right of freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, right, for protesting. So great job, everybody, for doing that, so long as everyone's keeping things civil. Now we got this weird little thing from Jagmeet Singh. I received a text from Aaron in BC about what access to free birth control meant to her, so we jumped on a call. Interesting.
Hello, this is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, this is Jagmeet Singh.
I'm so excited to speak to you today.
Aaron, so I wanted to ask you, you heard we got pharmacare, and we got specifically birth control is going to be free, which is already free in BC, but we're going to take that across the country. What does this mean for you?
As a woman, I see this as a bodily autonomy issue.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's paramount. I also see this as a Canadian identity. And it's part of our identity as Canadians to have medical coverage. And, it's not lost on me that this is a minority government and that the NDP is pivotal in making this kind of change. It's so exciting to me. And I feel like there's hope now for Canadian identity.
Oh,
Great.
I love that. I love that message. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for taking the time. And we're going to keep on fighting for you. But I'm
First of all, I don't believe it. This is a very weird and kind of borderline cringe skit. We don't see the person. You hear the soft voice. And also, he doesn't have a case on his phone. Dude, every single person has a case on their iPhone. It's just weird. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe you, Jagmeet. Nice try, buddy. Nice try. I'm not falling for it. And lastly, we're going to take a look at this press conference here where Jagmeet Singh says that Trudeau is out of touch and Pierre Poilievre will cut and gut like Stephen Harper when he is prime minister.
They've been in power for 9 years and things are worse now. It's getting harder to get ahead. It feels like people are just barely able to get by. And they feel really frustrated and angry at the Liberals who've let them down. And they also tell me they're really worried about Pierre Poilievre, especially the retirees who remember Harper days. They're really worried because they know what Conservatives do. Pierre Poilievre wants to cut and gut the services that people need. He wants to cut pensions. He's very open about it. He said one of the first things he said in the fall of 2022, his plan was cutting pensions and EI and putting $500 million in the pockets of rich CEOs. So people tell me they're really worried about that. They're afraid of what Pierre would do to them. He would make things, the price of Pierre is something that people are afraid of. The price of Pierre is, what is he going to do? Well, he's going to cut the things that people need and put billions of dollars in the pockets of billionaires. That's what Conservatives do. They give money to the big corporations. That's what Harper did with the corporate handouts to the tune of billions of dollars while people are struggling to get by. That's the legacy of Conservatives. That's what Pierre wants to do. And so people need to know that things can be better. And I want folks to know we can tackle the big problems we're up against. People know when they go in and buy their groceries that they're paying more than ever for their groceries. And these corporate grocery stores are making record profits. They know they're getting ripped off. They know that. And so what we need to do is stop these corporate giants, these corporate grocery stores from ripping you off. When you're paying the highest cell phone fees and internet fees in the world, you know you're getting ripped off by these big telcos, Rogers, TELUS, and Bell. So we need to fight back. That's fully within the federal government's control to take them on and make your bills more affordable. Liberals and Conservatives haven't done it. They're not going to do it. And I want folks to know we're committed to it. We've shown you that we can deliver. You Democrats can deliver and make life better. We can tackle the big problems that we're up against, and we can make life better. We can make life more affordable. We can bring down the price of groceries by protecting consumers, putting in stronger laws that protect you, and putting in more severe penalties so these corporate grocery stores can't rip you off. We can make sure we use the federal powers to bring down the price of your cell phone fees and your internet fees. We can make life more affordable. You Democrats can make that happen.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think that if his heart was truly on the side of Canadians, he would have done what he needed to do many years, or a long time ago rather, and end that coalition. I do have one final video here. This is from Marty up north, dug this up. Remember this interview from 2015? Trudeau thinks that small business owners are just tax cheats.
So there could be a cut for small business.
We'll probably have things to say about it, but we have to know that a large percentage of small businesses are actually just ways for wealthier Canadians to save on their taxes, and we want to reward the people who are actually creating jobs and contributing in concrete ways. So there's a little tweaking to do around that.
So there could be a cut for small business.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau, he's just been a hypocrite his entire life. He's contradicted himself time and time again, and I think people are just fed up. Even the most radical, woke, left-wing voters are now realizing, well, my mortgage is unreasonably priced now, or the possibility of getting a mortgage is becoming further and further away from reality. And when I go to the grocery store, I'm spending way more than I should. And people are going to eventually have to make a decision on who to vote for. And I am very, very firm on the belief that I think people are going to be voting with their wallets. And that's not in favor of Justin Trudeau, nor is it in favor of the NDP. We've seen behind the mirror. We've seen behind the looking glass, and it is ugly. But that's where we're going to end today's video, folks. I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. On your way out, I would like to encourage you guys one last time to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.